Hi guys, it's Savannah. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. Today I'm just going to be doing another chill video. I really have been wanting to do a tag, and as you all probably know, I love thrillers. I've been reading a ton of thrillers, and thrillers are really what got me into reading in my adult life. So I wanted to find a tag that had to do with thrillers. The thriller tag I found is actually from 2 years ago, and it's called the Thrilling Thrillers book tag. I will have the original video linked in the description below, but I wanted to kind of bring back this tag on my channel and do it. It is a fun tag and I'm excited to get into it. Once again, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I'd love if you join my community. I'm almost to 100 subscribers, which is very exciting. And I would love if you follow me on Instagram too, and we could connect there as well. I'm riveting.reads on Instagram. So anyway, let's get into this video. All right, so question number one is, what is the last thriller you bought? And it's actually No Exit. I got this maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago in Austin at Half Price Books. When I was there, I was social distancing and everything, but I was able to go in the store with a mask, and they have a really fun selection there. And I found this, and it's in beautiful condition. It's also just a beautiful book cover, and I had to pick it up. So that's the first question answered. All right, the second question is, what is the thriller that I most recently put on my TBR? So I chose The Patient because McKay actually talked about it on his channel and he was raving, saying it was amazing, and so I had to add it to my Goodreads TBR. I'm not quite sure when I'll actually be able to read this, but I'm really excited. I know it's a psychological suspense book, but it also is kind of horror. But when he was talking about it, he said it was real scary. So I am down for a scare. I love being scared. It's fun for me, as you all probably know already. And I'm getting more into horror books. I've watched horror movies for years and years and years. I actually started watching horror movies, I think, when I was 14. And I just absolutely love being scared. I love horror, and now I'm getting into reading horror books. So that is question number 2. So question number 3 is, what is a thriller that you had high expectations for and you were disappointed by? And I have kind of 2 things to talk about with this. So The Wives by Taryn Fisher. I thought the concept sounded amazing. I was really excited for it. And I knew some people said it wasn't great and it really let them down, but I was still holding out hope for it. And I cannot stand the plot twist at the end. I don't know if you guys have read it. I don't want to say any spoilers, but the plot twist at the end it made me angry. Like, it made me so angry, and I just cannot with the ending of that book. So I was very disappointed by that book. And then I want to mention a book, actually. I looked at my Goodreads and found it. It's called Baby Doll by Hollie Overton, and I read it a few years back. And this is the description, and it sounded really good. It said, for fans of Gone Girl and The Girl on the Train, Baby Doll is the most tense thriller you will read this year. Held captive for 8 years, Lily has grown from a teenager to an adult in a small basement prison. Her daughter, Sky, has been a captive her whole life. But one day, their captor leaves the deadbolt unlocked. This is what happens next to her twin sister, to her mother, to her daughter, and to her captor. So it sounds amazing, and I was super pumped for this, but I just remember I was reading it actually when I was camping up north in Wisconsin. And so I was reading it in the tent, I was staying up late, and it just was not scary at all. And I felt like it wasn't that tense. And when I go into thrillers, I want to be on the edge of my seat. I want some craziness to happen. And honestly, thinking back, I don't even remember what happened in this book. And I'm not trying to hate on it, but that came to mind. Question 4 is, what tropes do you love and hate in thrillers? So I'm a little torn about this, actually. I am kind of annoyed now with amnesia thrillers, just because I feel like it's become such a popular trope that I almost can't escape from it. So that can be annoying. However, if it's done well, it can be good. But I'm wary with amnesia type thrillers for sure. And Thriller tropes that I love are definitely when the author plays with timelines. So like flashbacks, flash forwards, you're trying to piece together what happened. I love that so much. I also love creepy atmospheric settings for thrillers, and I feel like it almost gives it almost a kind of horror element as well. So I really like that. I loved Home Before Dark. I know it's a little bit more of a horror, but I still sort of consider it in the realm of a thriller because it's a Riley Sager and it still has thriller elements for sure. But yeah, I love atmospheric situations. So all of Riley Sager's books are amazing. I think he's awesome at doing atmospheric thrillers, and usually they're not the trope of amnesia thriller. In The Last Time I Lied, it seems like it could have been an amnesia thriller, but it isn't. So you're good. If that bothers you, still check out that book. Number 5 is recommend an underrated thriller. So I think Stillhouse Lake by Rachel Caine is kind of underrated. I don't hear a ton of people talking about it on YouTube. I know that there have been people to talk about it, don't get me wrong. I just feel like not enough people know about it. It's such a good story, and it's about a woman named Gwen who used to be married to a serial killer, and she is fleeing the attention she's getting from his followers, trying to protect her family. And it's actually a series. It's a thriller series, and I've never read before a thriller series, but I'm really enjoying it. And I talk about it in my thriller recommendations videos. So yeah, I really love that book. I think it's underrated. I want more people to read it. I think it's written really well. It's such an interesting concept. I don't know. I think it's really original, and I'm very fascinated by serial killers. So I thought it was really, really good. It had a great plot, and I loved it. The next question is pick 3 thrillers from your shelf, one of which you haven't read and the other 2 you have. I'm actually going to change this up because I've only recently started buying a lot of books. Before now, I've mostly used the library, and I still don't really have that many books that I own. So I'm going to change this up and say one of these I've read, one I didn't finish, and the other I haven't read. So I'm going to hold up 3, and then you guys can guess in the comments what is what. So the first book I'm going to show you is The Couple Next Door. And I don't know where the sleeve went for this. It's somewhere in one of my boxes. But yeah, first one. Second one is No Exit. And the third one is Gone Girl. So anyway, if you keep watching, you'll know the answer to one of them. All right, so the next question says, people are often intimidated by the thriller genre. So recommend a thriller for a thriller newbie or somebody who's wanting to try out the genre but doesn't know where to start. So I would 100% recommend a Riley Sager book. He has 4 books out right now. He's coming out with a 5th in June, I believe, of 2021, which I am so pumped about. But I actually did a video convincing my friend who's scared of thrillers and horror, and I convinced her to read one of his books. So I will link it above. But if you want to check that out, I explain each of his books and talk about what it's about, what I liked about it, and give a little synopsis. So I would recommend Riley Sager. His novels are really easy to fly through, and I know that they're very well loved. They do have some plot holes, but I am willing to kind of ignore them because I just really enjoy them. Okay, what is your all-time favorite thriller? This is so hard because I was a senior in high school and my mom was reading Gone Girl, and I think she told me what it was about and was just having a crazy experience reading it. She said she was so shocked, and I told her I want to read that book. So I read that book. I read Gone Girl. I absolutely loved it. I was shook to my core, so shook. And I'm actually going to reread it and see if I like it as much as when I first read it as a reread. But I'm going to do that sometime in January, I think. I'm going to vlog it and everything. But I love Gone Girl. It is such a good book. But it's also been quite a few years since I read it. So the other book I want to talk about is Pretty Girls. And I read this actually kind of at the beginning of COVID. So around halfway through March, I want to say, I read it. And this book shocked me. I talk about it in my other videos. There are so many trigger warnings for this book. Graphic violence. Just the way Karin Slaughter writes is insane. I was so attached to the characters. It felt so real. It was so raw. The plot twist was amazing. It was so intense. I couldn't put this book down, and it just impacted me so much. And I really do want to reread this book as well. So it's kind of tied between these two books. I just thought they were exceptional. And Karin Slaughter, I don't know whose writing style I like better, because they have some similarities, but they also have some differences. So let me know in the comments if you have read either of these, or especially if you've read both of them, and I want to know which one you like better. So Pretty Girls or Gone Girl? I'm very curious. The last thing is to tag some of my favorite creators and have them do this tag. So I'm gonna write some names down in the description, and I'd love it if you guys did this video. If not, no pressure. But yeah, I just want you to know I'm thinking of you. And I really enjoyed this video. I like doing kind of chill videos where I don't put on any makeup, and you know, I'm just talking to you all in a chill manner. I guess my other videos are kind of chill as well. I guess the biggest difference is they're a little bit more planned out. I wear makeup, but right now I'm just hanging out on a Friday night, I guess it is, at my house. I'm gonna be doing some reading. I made some cookies tonight. I think my husband and I are going to rewatch The Ritual, which is such a good horror movie. So yeah, I wanted to make this video. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you all are having a wonderful night. Bye.